Hey everyone, my name is Sadie, and this is a vlog to document my difficult journey of limbic system dysfunction and to highlight all of the progress I have made with the dynamic neural retraining system. I am in no way affiliated or sponsored by DNRS. I just want to get my story out there to maybe help other people in similar situations. Growing up, I was always a little bit of a neurotic kid. I had an amazing childhood filled with as much fun as my parents could possibly fit in, but despite having everything I could have ever wanted, I was still grumpy and nervous a lot of the time. I had been a perfectionist my whole life, and in high school I was diagnosed with panic disorder, anxiety, and depression. When I got to college, I was determined to find a way to help people like me, and so I decided to be a physiology major and learn everything that I could about how the human body works. My coursework was very demanding and I was badly burnt out. And in May of 2019, just a little over a year ago, I had a toxic chemical exposure in my organic chemistry lab that caused an acquired brain injury specifically to my limbic system. At first, I had no idea what was happening to me. All I knew was that I was in a lot of pain and that my body was becoming very sensitive to the chemicals in my environment and in the foods that I ate. I visited many different doctors and specialists to finally discover that I had postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, mast cell activation syndrome, and hypermobility spectrum disorder. My doctor told me that these conditions often occur at the same time and that they were suspected to be due to an overactive, faulty immune system. She prescribed me 4 different medications and ordered several different tests. I thought that learning my diagnosis would be the answer, but things just continued to get worse. At my lowest point, I had to wear a mask wherever I could go to protect myself from reacting to chemical and going into anaphylactic shock. I was only able to tolerate about 10 different foods, including spices, and I could barely even move to get myself from the bed to the bathroom. I was in rough shape, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking that I looked dead. Whenever people saw me at the doctor's office, they always looked at me like I was a helpless, lost little puppy. But everything changed when I went in for an echocardiogram. The tech saw my mask and asked me why I wore it. I told him that it was because I couldn't handle being around even the smallest bits of fragrances or chemicals without having a severe reaction. He told me his wife used to wear the same mask for the same reason, but that she found a treatment program and fully recovered. He also gave me the name Dynamic Neural Retraining System and told me to go watch the testimonials. I was desperate for anything to work at that point, and so when I got home, I did just that, and I found so many video clips of people who were just like me. I'm thankful every day that I decided to take that leap of faith and try DNRS. I was definitely skeptical that it would work at first, but I started seeing results literally the day I started watching the seminars. I quickly began having defining moments or times that I couldn't have even imagined experiencing while I was sick. My first was going to the grocery store without a cane or a mask for the first time. And then I pushed my boundaries further by walking into Lush and Bath & Body Works stores, going out to eat, cuddling with my dogs, traveling, and working out. In just 1 month of practicing, I went from being in a wheelchair to ice skating faster than most people at the rink. Now that is nothing short of miraculous. The life I live now is so much fuller and happier than I could have ever imagined, even before my limbic system injury. Nothing, no medication, exercise, treatment, nothing else has ever worked for me so well and so quickly ever in my life. And I kept seeing results the more I practiced. DNRS taught me how to harness the power of neuroplasticity to therapeutically rewire my brain to calm the limbic system and reflect a more healthful state of being. It was also incredibly empowering to discover that I could do this myself. And if I can change my brain to heal chronic illness, anyone can. Limbic dysfunction is more common than you might think. It can be caused by a variety of physical, emotional, or psychological traumas. In my case, it was caused by a toxic chemical exposure, but triggers could look very different from person to person. If anyone watching this struggles with, or knows someone who struggles with, anxiety, PTSD, depression, POTS, multiple chemical sensitivities, severe allergies, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, or any similar disorders, please visit this website, www.retrainingthebrain.com. It's also linked in the description box of this video. You could be saving a life. I know it saved mine. My life is so much different than I thought it would be a little less than a year ago. This past year has been the hardest and most transformative year of my life, and I am so grateful to have had it. I didn't understand while I was going through it all, but this experience has benefited me in so many ways. I've learned so much about myself, maintaining good health and wellness, and most importantly, I've developed a genuine love for who I am. I know that I am strong enough to handle anything that comes my way, and I feel lucky to now be able to use what I've learned to help others.